Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 14, text number 24. Avajananti yami mudha nriparupinam ishwaram nanu vindanti te bhadram iha loke paratracha. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Those who, out of gross ignorance, do not worship the King, who is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, experience happiness neither in this world nor in the world after death. Text 25. Ko yajna purusho nama yatra vo bhakti ridrishi bhartra snehya viduranam yatajare kuyoshitam. You are so much devoted to the demigods. But who are they? Indeed, your affection for these demigods is exactly like affection of an unchaste woman who neglects her married life and gives all attention to her paramour. Text 26 and 27. Vishnur virincho girisha indro vayur yamo ravihi parjanyo danadas somaha kshitir agnir apampatihi ete cha necha vibudhaha prabhavo varashapayoho dehe bhavanti nripatihi sarva devamayo nripaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, the master of the air, Yama, the superintendent of death, sun god, the director of rainfall, Kuvera, the treasurer, moon god, the predominating deity of the earth, Agni, the fire god, Varuna, the lord of waters, and all others who are great and competent to bestow benedictions or to curse, all abide in the body of the king. For this reason, the king is known as the reservoir of all demigods, who are simply part and parcel of the king's body. Purport. There are many demons who think of themselves as the supreme and present themselves as the directors of sun, moon, and other planets. This is all due to false pride. Similarly, King Vena developed the demoniac mentality and presented himself as a supreme personality of Godhead. Such demons are numerous in this age of Kali, and all of them are condemned by the great sages and saintly persons. So we can see how King Vena, who is speaking now, has speaking like Krishna speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. So this is a typical case, an example of abuse of the Advaita philosophy. Of course, Advaita interpretation came by was given by Shankaracharya to this world. But this kind of philosophy, our scripture says that whether it is Advaita, Dvaita, all these things, they are eternally there on the earth. So different living entities go on suitably stick on to that philosophy. The world has place for everybody because free will is given to all living entities in this material world. So in this case, King Vena and people generally, people in the earlier ages, they all knew they are not the body. They all knew that they are, the personality is eternal. The common man or even the king in those days, they are not in the illusion of so much ignorance as we see in the modern world, Kali Yuga. Practically everybody thinks he's his body. So even now in the present age, there are people, just because they do a very deep jnanic analysis and say, I am not the body, they do not become the devotees of this Lord. So becoming devotee of the Lord necessarily also means you have to understand you are the spirit, but you are an eternal servant of Krishna. You have a designation as a servant of Krishna. But somebody can understand, I am not the body, but I am something else. Not servant of Krishna. I am Nirguna Brahman. Everybody is ultimately Nirguna Brahman. There is no God. There is no I. There is no you. So this is the ultimate philosophy. Then how do they explain the world of karma? How do they explain their present philosophy, present personality? I have an individuality, you have an individuality, everybody has an individuality. So according to them, this individuality itself is false. We say individuality is real and identity is false. And this body is false. They say that if I am the body goes, my individuality is gone. I am that Nirguna Brahman. So in absolute truth, in the absolute sense, all these things are not there. I, you and all this Vaikuntha world, they are all, does not exist. Now here you see King Vena is saying, is exactly how, as I said, if the Advaita philosophy can be easily interpreted to be abused in this way. Or anybody who is not recognizing Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead can come up with this kind of things where he says, I am king. When I say I am the king. And what does the Shastra says? It is said here what the Shastra says. The list of demigods. I read or not? That is the purport. Yeah. Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, Vayu, Yama, Kuvera, Agni, Varuna, they all abide in the body of the king. Just like Krishna showed Vishwarupa, everybody is within me. So here he is saying, all the demigods are within me. Because I am a king. Because Shastra says he is as good as God, king. Shastra doesn't say he is king, he is as good as God. But they take it as God. Guru is as good as God. And whether the Shastra says, the Mayavadis, okay, Shastra says as good as God. Now I am role playing as good as God. You all should worship me. The Shastra says king is. Similarly, people who sometimes misuse Guru's position, Guru is as good as God. In fact, the Shastra says that worshipping Guru is as good as worshipping all the demigods, which is also absolutely correct. But he is not, Guru is not God. King is as good as God for the subjects. Guru is as good as God for the disciples. He is as good as God, the king is as good as God for the citizens. Does not mean he is God. So this mistake happens to living entities. That my present position as the king entails that there is nobody superior to me. The other day I was discussing with somebody, preaching to someone. And in the process, she was also glorifying Bhagavad Gita. And then next breath she said, I worship all gods to be safe. Krishna also, Shiva also, Devi also, I worship. Ganesha also, everybody I worship. But she was an intelligent person. Religious person. So religiously she has learned traditionally like this. And I said, just now you are glorifying Krishna so much. Suddenly how? What is that kind of worship? Because everybody is same for you. Yeah, that is what Advaita philosophy says. All are Ishtadevatas. Anybody can take any Ishtadevata, do bhakti for the Ishtadevata, focus, focus, focus. It is meant to focus your mind. Then you leave aside demigod and become Nirguna Brahman. So all these are Sankalpika, the Devatas. In a larger sense, means they don't have eternal presence. Because the impersonalists, the Mayavadis also believe in all these things. They believe in all the material planets and the Vayu, all these things. They have all, worship all these personalities. But in the ultimate sense, you are not God, I am not God, we are all Nirguna Brahman. They don't say, they don't have a concept of God at all. So then I explained to her, actually this is what the Advaita philosophy says. I said, do you want to love Krishna like this? Or you want to love Krishna the way he speaks in the Bhagavad Gita? Then she said, I'd like to worship Krishna in the way he speaks in the Bhagavad Gita. Then I took out the Gita and showed all the verses, whatever Krishna says. I said, look at in the Bhagavad Gita, everywhere Krishna, how many, you please do an exercise. Tomorrow you come to me. How many ahams and mam Krishna has spoken? According to your philosophy of Advaita, you would say this is ahankara. He's not self-realized. If he's self-realized, that's why he's saying I, you and all these things. If self-realized, no aham, no this thing. and you consider this as a spiritual book, spiritual knowledge. All acharyas say this is the highest spiritual knowledge, and that is higher spiritual knowledge. If it is all, goal is only to merge into Brahman, Aham and all is not there. In that highest spiritual knowledge, that Vyakti, that Krishna, is going on saying Aham, 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 surrender, surrender, surrender. I am everything. He doesn't say I am everything, you are also everything. He says you are my part. So if you want to follow what Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, and see how it is, if the person does not have proper understanding, anyway I told that person, you are not an Advaitist. Because you are ready to go by what Krishna says. You have been simply told, and are you worshipping a Krishna who is Sankalpika? No. He is absolutely there. Even after creation, maintenance, annihilation, he is still there. Yes, he is there. If he is there, then you are a devotee of Krishna. Just traditionally you have come up in this way and you have understood this Advaita philosophy in practice. But at heart, if you are ready to accept God as a person, and there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there is, now I will tell you, that there is a positive world of Vaikuntha varieties. Neti, 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 neti is not the end of truth. These are all negative numbers in this material world. Then there is zero, then there are positive numbers. Negative numbers exist because of the positive numbers. Similarly, this Vaikuntha is there, eternal world, not Maya. These negative worlds are temporary worlds. Just like out of real world, we shoot a movie, no? So it's called perverted reflection. It is not the stuff itself. Name, form, activities, everything, all are, when you say world, means world of name, fame, all these things. Not the substance of the world. Substance of the world is Krishna's energy. Just like projector is real, film is real, projector light is real, screen is real, but the story on the screen is false. The Mayavada philosophy says screen is false, projector is false, this is false, everything is false, story is also false. So we accept Krishna as the owner of all energies, who is producing this Maya. He is the producer of this movie, using his energy, different energies as projector, screen, everything which are real. And when creation comes, he sends forth that energies and creates this illusion of name, form, position, Brahma, this thing, all these things are produced. Does not mean there is no positive world. That positive world is world of Krishna consciousness. Unlimited Vaikuntha planets, everywhere there is constant recognition of the devotee that I am the servant of the Lord, and he is my maintainer, he is my protector, and I should be, everything that I do must be to please him. So this is existing. Whereas your Advaita philosophy says even Vaikuntha is false, does not exist. That is why, so everything is Maya, therefore they are called Mayavadis. So Krishna is so beautiful, such a wonderful, his beauty is appreciated, and his infinite Advaitam Achyudam Anadim Ananta Rupam he has got. So do you think that his body is made of a Prakriti? If the body is made of a Prakriti, how he will demonstrate? How he could have demonstrated so many leelas that he performed, which beyond the laws of Prakriti. then the devotee just, Prabhupada says, when somebody accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is when he becomes a devotee. Simply chanting Bhagavad Gita for 20 years I have chanted everything, I like Bhagavad Gita. Have you accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Then you are a devotee. So at that point of time, she accepted. Yes, Krishna is supreme. Then I gave one example. If a father tells to the son, hey, I am your father, is it self-glorification? It is a fact, no? Father is father, son is father, son is son. Father is telling you are my son. I am your father. Son should not tell, Father, what ahankara you have? So like that, Krishna's aham and mam, they're all facts. He is revealing to you his relationship. He is revealing to you what is the relationship of jivas, what is the relationship of material energy. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate. That I am revealing, that's all. Aham sarvasya prabho, from me everything has come. A fact, so I am speaking. Whereas here King Vena is talking out of illusion. After saying all this, did he show his Vishwarupa with all these devatas within his body? Finally, he couldn't withstand the power of the rishis who killed him. This fellow is a big problem for this world. They all decided together and finished him. So this subtle difference we should understand. Just so many Hindus, they worship Krishna. Okay, fine. Some introduction to Krishna. So real preaching in India means to make people understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the very words of Krishna, because they have some attachment to Krishna. You have to change them through Krishna's own words, as it is. Many Hindus will become Krishna conscious. It is not, oh, that is one school of thought. This is one school of thought. That's how that, when I was preaching to this person, no, that's also correct, this is also correct. There are different interpretations of Vedanta. So they want to be nice. They want to be nice. They're not saying that, hey, yours is all bogus. They're not saying that. No, there are different interpretations, two different interpretations. So these are all standard responses of people who have not understood Sanatana Dharma. The word Sanatana means eternal, not illusion. There is an eternal Dharma, never ending. That means there has to be God, there has to be subjects to have eternal Dharma. Dharma means rules of living. Sanatana Dharma means there is a power, and that is immediately, it's so important. A devotee becomes a devotee when he accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Existence consists of unlimited living entities, small living entities. They all come from the Supreme Source. We as jivas are tiny. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko yo bhunam yo vidadhati kaman. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam. All small, tiny consciousness. And there is one supreme consciousness. And he is the one who is maintaining all the tiny consciousness. Consciousness means person. So there is one supreme person, and there are many tiny, tiny persons which have come out of me, and I am maintaining all of them. Not that everybody is that supreme person. Supreme person is always supreme person. Supreme person in Vaikuntha is Narayana. Supreme person in the absolute sense, supreme person of all persons, of all Narayanas, everybody is Krishna. Ishvaraha Paramakrishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana Advaita Machyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Madurlabam Atma Bhakto Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. We have all become devotees. Why? Because from the Bhagavad Gita we have understood as it is. I surrendered to Krishna. Krishna is God, Supreme God. Everybody else is subordinate. Who are Devatas also is already, Krishna speaks, who are the Devatas? And when he says it's a fact, so Devatas are also and there. I only give them the results for Devata worshippers. He says, here King Vena is telling the same thing, imitating. Therefore, I don't need to, when I reach a certain stage, this God and all is all imagination. According to this dangerous philosophy. But this was not the purpose of Shankaracharya. Even today, you don't hear from people who are deviated. But you take Shankaracharya's teachings. Everywhere, very easily, double meaning is there. For Buddhists, not to convert the Buddhist, they will only understand that meaning. And Prabhupada explains, you read Adi Lila, Prabhupada is quoting the same Vedanta Sutra, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, all these Anandamaya Abhyasa, all these aphorisms. Our Acharyas have given the very same aphorism. Vaishnava understanding. So Shankara school understanding, forget people who commentary. If you read original whatever is Shankaracharya, very easily, because he was instructed by Lord Vishnu to come down into this world. It's there revealed in Padma Purana, I think, where Shiva is speaking to Parvati that this is what I am going down as a Brahmana boy on the instruction of Vishnu to convert all the Buddhisms into the Vedic fold. For that I have to, because Buddhists have rejected the Vedas. Vedas have gone out of the society. So very big task. Nobody can do this task other than very powerful personalities. Therefore Vishnu ordered, now you go and do this job. So with high scholarship, each part of the Shastra was given double meaning. And then everybody got attracted to his philosophy. And then he, Who was Buddha? Buddha was also Krishna's incarnation. You know Dashavataras. But you don't worship Buddha. Because Buddha spoke opposite to Vedas. God can do anything for a purpose. Because at that time the Vedas had to go out of the society. Because Vedas were the basis for indiscriminate killing. So Krishna came as Buddha and preached ahimsa as a main thing. Forget all these Vedas and all. Vedas, demigods, yes, rejected. They rejected it. They became Buddhist. Historically, if you see, Buddhism was very rampant in this whole earth. Then Shankara came, and Shankaracharya came, and he brought large population back to this, and that population is the Hindu population. That is why Allah one day. All demigods, Krishna, everybody is one. From not accepting anybody, it's a first step. Everybody is there. And next step, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, they came and established, everybody is not one. One is the source of all of them. That is Krishna. All others are. In each Brahmanda, these devatas are there. Each Brahmandas. They are all in this Brahmanda, they are all actually positions. That's all revealed in the scriptures. Shiva is a position, Ganesh is a position, Vayu is a position, and different jivas in different yugas or different cycles of creation. Different jivas take the role of Shiva, take the role of different devatas. But Vishnu, Supreme Personality of Godhead. And to maintain this material world, to run this material world, nobody can run this material world other than God Himself. So therefore, He takes the position of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. When you say Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, that Vishnu sometimes is equated with demigods. In the scriptures also, 3 demigods, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. You will see in some purport also, Prabhupada also uses the word demigods. In that he lists. But we should understand what it means. That is a role played by Shirodakshaya Vishnu to maintain this material world. And it is a very small aspect of Krishna's opulence as a super soul, as a Paramatma, as a soul of each Brahmanda, as a soul of each Brahmanda. That's not his greatest opulence. That opulence Krishna showed in the Bhagavad Gita, in Vishwarupa. And he told what is, and I thought after telling how the glories of this creation, he says, these are all ekam shena jagat. It is the one amsha of my opulence. One amsha of my power. That we have to understand. So even when we say Vishnu, we have to understand with respect to Krishna. Krishna has expanded, but in terms of rasa, it is a very limited rasa expansion. The full Purna Tattva of that very same Vishnu is Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And all these things are revealed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, taken from the scriptures. How the Supreme Lord, Balaram, from Balaram, the quadruple expansions, And then out of that one expansion, Shankarshana, rest of the Vaikuntha, Narayanas are coming. And for the material world, Mahavishnu is coming from their body, from his body, expansion. Inconceivable. Material energy, material world itself is inconceivable. How can we ever conceive that unlimited creation or eternal part, eternal world of Krishna, even the temporary world of Krishna which comes in and out, goes out, creation, maintenance, annihilation, even that is insignificant compared to that. So as a human beings, we cannot know anything. Just you take some philosophy and see, end of everything is Nirguna Brahman. Prabhupada explains that whole Mayavada philosophy, they get pleasure, they get ananda. What they means, they say Chidananda, you are Chidananda, you are Chidananda. We are also saying you are Satchidananda. When they say Chidananda, when they say, that is what is that experience? They do experience. What is that experience? Prabhupada explains, if you keep a person dipped in the water, he will grasp for air. You give him some relief by taking him out of the water. He was not breathing at all. He got some breath. So that is called their Chidananda. Their Chidananda. Our Chidananda is positive Bhakti Rasa. Relationship pleasure, love of Godhead, that is our Chidananda. So I asked this person, you want this Chidananda or you want Chidananda like the gopis, like the devotees? When Krishna came here, descended and demonstrated. How love of God can be. So instead of that, you want to destroy all this variegatedness. So there is so much of ammunition given to us by Prabhupada to make people accept Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why this is most important. Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for the whom you preached. I was also in the same dilemma of 1 or 2 months. I got the answer. However, while dealing with the intellectual class in the society, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, when Arjuna asked the question, that 6 questions are there: Kshetra, Kshetrajna, enjoyer, nature, object of knowledge, and the knowledge. So in the Kshetrajna, for us, Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavad Gita, as it is, have given a very clear understanding that Kshetrajna is one is knower of the body, one is a person who is knower of all the bodies.
Correct.
That's very clear for us.
Yeah.
From here, there is a twist which today's intellectual class take it like I'm also knower of that and twist the entire philosophy and make us everything is one in that sense.
Yeah.
If you can...
They say, presently you are Kshetrajna and there is one, supreme, all-pervading consciousness, Nirguna consciousness. That is supreme Kshetrajna. So I and you difference will be there till you gets realized. There is 2. I agree with you. There is 2. Till there, everything appears to be same. Let us take, there is Mayavadi philosophy. Somebody is a Mayavadi. He is part of that school. But he is exclusive worshipper of Krishna. He will talk exactly like you. But in the ultimate sense, he said, no. Once I also become Krishna, I also realize Krishna. I can also, self-realization and God realization merges. Neti, neti means guru, shishya, all should go away. As long as you have got two concepts, guru and shishya, God and part, that is still not full satya. It is part of illusion. Illusion played by that full satya. So there is another word they will bring. Saguna Brahman. No problem. You are all worshipping Saguna Brahman. But ultimately it is Nirguna Brahman. Saguna Brahman's perfection is Lord Krishna. So you can also become Saguna Brahman. Ultimately, so what is Param Satya? You remove eternality for yourself. That's what I said. When we say neti, I can use the same philosophy. Neti, neti, neti I can use to gyanically understand I am not this body. I can use because it is a Vedic, it's coming in the Vedas. Shankaracharya gave an interpretation, but who wrote all this? Vedanta Sutra, everything is coming from Vyasadeva. Who knows who has written Bhagavatam? Who knows the essence of everything? So these are some of the things which are, that's why I said, that is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, if you hear Mayavada, your bhakti will go. Because of your all these things, tapasya, austerity, lifestyle, everything, being a very strict follower of the Vedas, follower of all the upasana, you may realize yourself to be not the body. Realizing you are not the body alone is not important. If I am a Mayavadi, I realize I am not this body, but you don't accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, I will enjoy the rasa of I am God and I will utilize my body to act like God. Ordinary people, I am the body for what? For bodily sense gratification. Whereas a person who is out of the body and doesn't believe in Krishna, he thinks that this body and every body is under my control. That's what he is telling. All of you are under my control. King Vena is saying. So that is the care. That is why it said you should not hear. You should hear about Mayavada philosophy from Vaishnavas what it is. That means you should read Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela volume. If you read that correctly, you will understand from our perspective what is Advaita philosophy. What benefit it did to the society once upon a time. Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.